Hi everybody, this is Kristen from A Voice and a View. And I'm going to add some things to my videos. Some different content. So look out for these. And trying to mix it up a little bit. And I've been adding some short videos on my page and on Facebook mainly. But also adding them on YouTube. But I'm hoping this will help not just to awaken you during this great awakening journey, but also make you laugh and also show you the spiritual side on what I go through. You know, some of my experiences that are very, they can be shocking, they can be, pretty interesting at times. But I wanted to add some different videos, different content on my page, and show you different aspects of this journey of what I go through and what a lot of others are going through with their experiences. So look out for story time, which I'm going to be talking about some of my experiences that have been pretty crazy over my lifetime. I'm also going to be adding truth time. Well, that's what I've been doing. So mainly what I've been doing is truth time. About what I see, about the Great Awakening, what's happening out in the world. Was that an eagle I just saw? I think an eagle just flew over me, guys. Confirmation. Eagles work in my world. It's one of my spirit birds, And then funny time, where I like to get goofy. I like to make fun of myself, be a little lighthearted in such dark times. And it raises my frequency, and I hope it does with you as well. But I like to be a little crazy sometimes and just have fun with life and, be weird. Why not? I love people that are weird. I love people that go outside the box and that are not afraid to be themselves, okay, being authentic. Because it's so important to find happiness and laugh in this life. It's so important to do this. So when you're feeling, down and out, always find something to laugh about and be grateful for, okay? So look out for my funny times videos. There'll probably be a bunch of shorts, short videos. But see what happens. Okay, I got to turn my air on. The constant battle. Oh, me overeating. Hold on a minute. Come on. Okay. Yeah. It's amazing, guys. Every time I do a video, I get hot flashes. I don't think that's a coincidence. So anyways, oh, and I also wanted to mention, guys, you see me wearing hats in most of my videos, and I've loved hats since I was little, and I especially started wearing them in, I would say, middle school, right, when I was at Catholic school. And I got a lot of harsh reactions to me wearing hats. People would laugh at me and make fun of me and whatever. But I loved hats at that time, and actually I stopped wearing them because I got the backlash. Because people were making fun of me, and I took it to heart and I just stopped wearing them. But now I don't care what people think, and I wear them because I love wearing hats. I have many different hats. And not only this, but Spirit has told me to cover my crown chakra. Okay, your crown chakra. Because us that are awake can get spiritually attacked. And it protects our crown chakra and our third eye, our north node. Okay, right there. So I wear them a lot. And I not only wear them a lot, the hats have multi-purposes, okay? But another big reason I wear hats is because I have big hair. Like, big hair. And me just putting it up, I don't like the way it looks most of the time. So hats flatten my hair out. and it covers my gray. So in between when I get it colored, right? So yes, hats have multi-purposes, and I love them. I love them, love them, love them. So that's my hat story for the day. But so today I've got a couple stories for you. And a lot of my videos, guys, Spirit wants me to talk about my experiences because he wants to make you a believer on what we all go through. Okay? That the spiritual realm is real. God is real. And the things that we go through are probably what you're not used to. It is definitely unique content, but it's the story of our lives, and you may not believe it, and that's okay. You may eventually believe it from the content that you're watching. I definitely didn't believe in it until I started seeing a lot of things that I never saw before. But it's a unique journey, for sure. But God wants us to talk about these things because God is light. Okay, and light is information. And he wants to make you a believer. You know that one song, I'm trying to think of the first words. Make me a believer, a believer. What's that song? That's not, it's probably called Make Me a Believer. I don't know at this point. But I didn't even have my high voice in that. It was a little low, but whatever. But yes, God wants us to show you what we go through, with our experiences, and to understand how the dark and the light works. Okay, and that light is information, light is the truth. No matter how ugly it is, we're supposed to tell you about it. We're supposed to show you the way through, to enlighten you on how the world really works and how you've been misled on religion, and how you connect with Spirit, with God. So today I'm going to talk about some unique experiences that I had a few years ago. So the first one, I remember this date too. It was December 21st, 12/21, 12 and then 12 backwards. Okay, dates mean a lot. Definitely, numbers are universal language. But 12/21 was a day that a lot of people were meditating for, well, to raise the frequency, okay, here on this planet. And I was one of them. But I wasn't with a group. I was in my backyard, sitting at a table in the sun. And I could tell I was on a high frequency through meditation and sitting in the sun. And I was in a deep meditation. And out of nowhere, I heard this voice. And it wasn't a voice that said anything. It was an angry voice, like a really angry voice. And I remember hearing it. And all of a sudden I heard like someone slap with their hand the utensils that were hanging from our grill. At the time, we had a really tall grill, an outdoor grill, a cooking grill. And we had a bunch of the utensils hanging from it, from hooks. And I heard this angry voice like, "Ugh!" It was really angry. And all of a sudden I heard something slap the utensils that were hanging from it. And I turned around and all the utensils were swaying back and forth. Very, I wouldn't say violently, but yeah, it was like this, okay, going back and forth. There was nothing there. My dogs were nowhere near this grill. There was nobody home but me. And I know something was angry, very angry, because of my frequency, because I was moving through a higher timeline, because I was changing the frequency like so many others were at the time. Okay, the light workers, here to raise the frequency of this planet. And this thing that I couldn't see, but I heard him. And it startled me big time, but I wasn't scared. I knew something was there that I couldn't see. It totally shocked me because this was the first real situation that I had been in where I knew something was there, but I couldn't see it. But at the same time, it didn't scare me. It startled me, but it didn't scare me. And I passed through some kind of portal there. And at the time, I didn't totally understand what was happening, but now I do. And it's getting really windy right now. But this situation was probably the first time that I realized that there were, other realms. And I definitely believed in God at the time. I was awakening. God was showing me in the natural world things, and I talked about the bees so many times. How I get signs and warnings, and I get sent information to pay attention to. But this was really the first time that I was shown that something was there, paying attention to what I was doing, okay, and was very angry because I had passed through something that they didn't want me to pass through, okay. And the utensils, the big metal spatula, and all swaying like crazy on my grill. But I specifically remember the really angry voice. Very, very angry. So that's my first story. Another story was in my backyard again, and this was at night. And I would go out on my little deck and smoke cigarettes. If I'd wake up early in the morning. Morning, I don't like that word. You know why? I have to still catch myself saying that word. Because the universe doesn't understand in the morning and morning, okay? It means the same thing to the universe. That's what I'm talking to you about right now. You got to be careful of your words because you're casting spells on yourself to mourn, okay? To be in a mourning state of mind. So be careful of your words. But anyways, so sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night, and a lot of the times I was being spiritually attacked, and my spirit guides or spirit would wake me up in the middle of the night. I'd be sweating, just wide awake out of the blue. But if you don't think you can be spiritually attacked in the dream state, it's a real thing. So anyways, I'd go out of my deck and I let my dogs out, my 2 dogs out at the time, and it was really dark. I think I fell asleep early or something, and I forgot to let them out to go to the bathroom before I went to bed, and I'd fall asleep in my chair all the time. My chair was my bed because of my back at the time. But so anyways, let them out to go to the bathroom, and it was really dark out. But there was a street light that was over towards the left of my yard that you could somewhat see the yard, okay? And my dog started growling. And I'm like, what the heck? Was someone in my backyard? And I could feel it. I could feel the energy. Something was going on, and I didn't know if somebody was standing over there or what. But my dogs did not like it. And they both ran straight over to the left of my yard. Started growling and barking. And with that light, that street light that was shining on that part of the yard, I saw something that was not human. I saw an entity in a dark form that jumped through my yard and jumped over my back fence. And I heard the fence. Something was jumping over my fence, but it jumped over my fence, and it was knocking against it as it jumped. But I saw its form. And whether you believe me or not, I know what I saw. And my dogs knew it was there. And I heard the fence as it was jumping over it. Now, the back of my fence was pretty tall. There's no way a dog could jump over it. Even my Great Dane couldn't jump over it. It wasn't a person. There's no way a person could have jumped that fence. This thing was in dark form. It was black and not natural. But I know what I saw. Because I could not only feel the energy from it, but I saw with my own eyes what it was. And my dogs knew it. And my dogs chased after it to scare it away. And at the time, I wasn't scared, but I was like in shock, same as the other experience. But I didn't really totally know what was going on. Well, now that I understand about being spiritually attacked and how other dark, low vibrational beings or souls, how they send dark magic towards you, how they send dark entities towards you. That's what was happening to me. If my dogs weren't there, I don't know. What I do know is that when you become awake enough, when you understand about spell work, when you understand about the realms, about dark and light, and what other people will do when they're threatened by you, because they don't want you to awaken. They don't want you to break through the matrix. They know who you are. And they will send dark energy your way. But the more you know, the more knowledgeable you are and learn, the more you're protected. And I will have to go into another video about that. But when you know, you know. Knowledge is key. Knowledge helps protect you. The dark to light. Lies to truth. When you see the truth, because God is the truth, it fights against darkness. It fights the lies. It fights anything hidden. But that's what was happening to me. And now I'm very aware of, things that are sent my way. But I know I'm protected. I know I'm very protected. My angels and ancestors and spirit guides, spirit protects me. And this information, guys, is so very true. And I don't keep saying that through my videos to I say this because when you're not awake, when you're asleep, and you think down here is all there is, you're living day to day, doing your thing, without acknowledgement of the spiritual realm and other realms, the underworld. Okay, you have to overstand spiritual realm, understand your heart space, okay? Or sorry, understand. You've got to overstand, understand, and understand. Understanding all three brings balance. You're not just it's mind, body, soul. Okay? Mind, body, spirit. When you understand how everything works, even if you don't want to understand it, you have to understand it because it will help protect you. Because everything is balance. And when you are in balance, you start to understand that, or start to lose your fear of it. Because when you come back to 0 point, by understanding, 0 point energy of healing yourself on the inside, when you release all the darkness off of you and activate your light, you start remembering who you are. You are a child of God. You are the temple of God. It's totally different than what they teach, guys. than religion. And these are just two of my experiences that I've had. And I will be talking about many more of my crazy experiences, especially in the last 10 years, but over my lifetime, I've had some wild moments. But so many of us have, being attacked over our lifetime or lifetimes. So, this is not meant to scare anyone. This stuff is very real. And we're way past the time of people not knowing this information. We are moving forward into the age of Aquarius, into the light, which means information, which means everything's being revealed out there of the truth, of who's done things in the dark, and all of that will be brought to the light one way or the other. There's a digital footprint on everything, whether you believe that or not, on what people have, done behind the scenes towards others, towards me. And if you think all of that information is hidden, I'm here to tell you that it will be revealed one way or the other. But now is the time to learn. Now is the time to open your eyes. That the spiritual realm is very real. And you have to have a balance of everything. To understand what's going on, to take, so it takes the blinders off of you. So that you will have protection. And you see the crazy things happening around you and out there in the world. Now is the time to ask for God to come into your life, to ask for protection, praying over your kids. And guys, I don't even like that word anymore. It's like the more I learn. Preying and praying. I don't like that word. I gotta find another word. I would just say prayers. When you pray, most of the time I will send prayers and healing. The I ams. I am sending prayers and healing for the best possible outcome and for the greatest good. This is one of something that I say when I am, involving my kids, people I love. So please, make some effort in learning about this stuff. This is very important right now. Very important for you to make an attempt at learning. And we're going through a transformation. We're evolving, and anything done in the dark is coming to the light. That's how God works. The dark has been in charge for a long time, but now the light is in charge. And we have to see with our own eyes what has been done in the dark, so that it can all be revealed and brought to the light for everyone to acknowledge, to see, to feel through, to digest, to understand the lies, so that we see the truth of everything. And that's what's happening. So now's the time to find your connection with God and whatever you call God. The Most High, the Almighty God, Spirit. I call God Spirit most of the time. The universe. So anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there today. Some people really like, stories about the supernatural. Others don't. But even if you don't, it's important for you to learn. And it will help you get over your fear of it, because it won't control you anymore. Yes, you'll probably go through a little turbulent time understanding about the dark. But the more you know, the less you will be afraid of it. And you will rise above it. Okay, that's it for today. This is Kristen from A Voice and a View. Peace, love, and light, guys. Until next time. I'll try to make it a comical one. Okay, bye.